Okay guys, this is the... oh shit, I need to change the text. I need to change the text. Oh, this is the wrong... oh, this is... oh wait, shit, they are in the other thing. I have to go... okay. This is gonna look weird. For a moment, I'm also in the wrong scene. Just go to streaming here. Instead, it was like, and I got this file from it's like this Google Drive file. It's like a Google Docs thing, which makes the text. So I have to go back to it, and it makes more sense. What's... oh, what is happening now? Let's go to, and then we need to change. We need to change this. That's Stockfish versus something like this. Now this should work. Tell me if it works. I've already assumed it works. This is check it on games. Should be working. Okay. So I'm just gonna check one thing. Welcome guys to the second video of this series. We're not gonna actually go through all the 100 games. There are many games. This is the second game in which Blobfish played as black, and it is still an interesting game. So it is very hard for black to win against a top level computer. By simulation testing before we played against Stockfish, we played Stockfish against Stockfish itself, and did won about, I think it's 1 in 1,000 as black. So it's simply very hard for black to win. This is the second game of this 100 game series. It is played in Blitz, 3 minutes plus 2 seconds increments from the starting position. There is no game book, neither for our engine or for Stockfish. They play on the same software. We play them with the third-party program Arena, so we're not actually... there's no Stockfish doesn't have any unfair disadvantages. Let's just simply put it like that. It's just engine versus engine. So let's just roll with this. And also there's like, I would say there is a advantage in having no book, because like in their top computer chess championship they have a book, because computer chess is quite boring to watch. There's like 99% of all the games are draws, and simply not too good to watch. Like, it's simply, they are draws. You just want to look at the winning games and how nice they play. But we have decided to play without an opening book, because we would like to test like engine versus engine, not like engine plus like a book that allows the engine to draw like 99% or like play like a super weird position that doesn't occur, it might be complicated and drawish, or it might be unclear the outcome, but it's just not simply something that we want to do, because we simply want them to play from the starting position and play the best game of chess there is. So that's why we don't have an opening book. But let's roll straight into the game. Yeah, there we have it. Yeah, we're going to look at from Black's perspective, I guess. Stockfish plays e4, and that was the move that was chosen for this tournament. Stockfish generally played e4. Now, I would say the best response is actually e5, but basically the best continuation is the Spanish. And the Spanish is very drawish. Even among humans, it's like 90%. It's like there's absolutely no way this is going to be a win. So Blobfish didn't even try to make didn't really play e4 e5 that much. One of the moves that it decided to play, because it decided to play basically two moves against e4. Stockfish also played a lot of d4, but against e4, Blobfish decided to play both the Carcan and the Sicilian. But this is a Carcan. So e4, c6, Stockfish just pushes his opponents in their center. That's what you do. There's no... we all know this line, but we have bishop to f5 attacking the knight. Knight goes back to attack the bishop, and bishop goes back. So it's... what's the difference? Yeah, the d pawn was traded for the e pawn. White is a nice pawn in the center. Black is this, I think it's a nice pawn on c6, preventing like a bishop from going here. Knight and bishop on like the opposite squares. It's a similar game. It's not really the most like similar in position wise, so it's always nice. h4, quite it's committal, and there's only one good move here, so h6. Simply, we want to be able to because if h5 comes like this, we must move the bishop, and we can't move it here. If it takes, and we can't move it here. Can't move it here. We can't take it either. The best move is to go h6. So we go. So we have to push this pawn, and we don't want to push it here. That's not good. Develops knight. Develops knight. Now this h5 comes, and we have to move the bishop here. So it seems like a very hard position to play as black, but in fact black seems to be leading the position. Either way, bishop. Now the best move is to trade the bishops, of course, because that was an awkward bishop. I'm not gonna lie, that was an awkward bishop. Now e6, and after bishop to f4, we have this move, and now we run out of book moves on chess.com, but that doesn't mean that this move hasn't been reached. And I'm gonna look for the Lichess database. Yeah, that's database. The Lichess database for something. The bishop to g6. I don't remember all the moves. We were like, yeah, it was this h4 idea. We played h6. I think they developed tonight, maybe. The seventh move to develop the knight, yeah. It was develop, then h5. Bishop goes back. Bishop goes back. And then was this weird bishop to d3, queen. Oh shit, queen takes, e6, bishop to f4, and we were bishop to f4, right? That was the last move, and now the second most played move was played by Blobfish. Knight f2 to g, no, knight g to f6, sorry. And after which the most common move by humans is to long castle. It has been played 2 times by masters, and both games ended in a draw. And it's been played 1,000 times by lichess users. Either way, we have long castles and bishop to e7. Now Stockfish moves in the middle with the knight. That's a fine move, I guess. Knight takes, and no, wait, I messed this up. It was the wrong knight. Knight to e4. Yeah, now we take, and queen takes. It was the wrong knight. And then the knight can develop with tempo, and the queen goes back. Now that move hasn't been played a lot, and I don't think that's a good move either. No masters have reached this position. Most common move is castles, and black is winning 7 out of 8 games in this position. Or sorry, it has been reached 12 times. But the most common move is lost 7 times. Now knight goes into the middle, and we have the knight attacking the bishop. Bishop goes to d2. There's still not a new game. Now we have queen to c6. Queen to c6. That is the like opening novelty. Stockfish didn't think of this. Blobfish thought of this. So we have queen to g3, strengthening up the knight. But then we can just play f6, and if the knight moves, we can trade queen. And let's just show this. We can go, so what looks like a human move, maybe knight to d3, we trade, and white does again have a double pawn. In fact, Stockfish had a double pawn last game we played as black. So instead of knight to d3, knight to g6, attacking this bishop. So now you can trade double the pawn, but then you have to move the bishop, or defend it, of course. But it is already defended. Never mind. But it's good to defend it, because otherwise this move would come, and you would have to move it, and then it would fall. So that's why you have to defend it or move the bishop. c4 attacks the knight. You simply go back. Now a very human move, I think, would be this c5, but I don't think that is the best move. No, because you can go queen. Sorry, queen. There's no queens on the board. Knight to d5. You have it safe here. But instead, b3, a good move. Now we reroute the knight because it was obviously not doing anything good there, and we're trying to trade off that angry looking knight on g6. He does decide to trade, maybe not the most accurate move, and then he centralizes his rook, but that pawn is defended, and we can go and attack that undefended pawn. He defends it, and now since it is opposite side castling here, it is the games can go, they can be quite wild. So Blobfish decides to just push his pawns. And also, I think a good response when somebody pushes the pawns on the queen side attacking the white king, it's to push the pawns back, basically. Now this is an interesting move that Blobfish played. Very interesting move. And in this position it says that it's equal. The Stockfish thought that it was plus 0.57. But Blobfish says, well, this is a draw, and goes king to f7. It is nothing wrong with it. That was also Stockfish's choice, it looks like. But that is sort of like a bomb cloud move. And you know what the best part of this is? King to c2. That's the best move, king to c2. But it might be the like horizon effect on the game review. Suddenly it realized that, oh wait, this was actually a draw, even though it was a draw from the beginning, and now realize, oh shit, this is a draw. And previously I had like a little bit of an advantage, so it says that this is an inaccuracy, but it's the best move really. Now we go against all chess principles and just put the knight on h7. Probably we're going to get it in the game here. No wait, now come kings to c2. It was king to b2 earlier, if I messed it up. King to c2. That was just a weird king goes here, then goes there. What? Now I think Blobfish is trying to strengthen up this pawn so he can move his rook away, maybe. The rook now tries to double up, and the knight comes in and defends that pawn. So the rook goes back, has nothing there. King moves into the game. Now rook moves up. They just shuffle a little bit. Tries to push this pawn. Rewrites the knight. Now that is an interesting move. Because this can go wrong in some ways. You have to defend the pawn, otherwise this doesn't work. So still tries to like double up, but the pawn is defended, so it doesn't really do anything. And after takes, he tries to trade the rook, but the Blobfish says no. I'm not willing to trade on your terms. I'm gonna trade on mine terms. And then he says, well, I'm gonna put my rook here, and if you don't take it, then I'm gonna win a pawn, because after we do a weird move, we do this move, and we takes, and then wins a pawn with check. But we can block. No, we can block. Actually, we can block. And white is winning there. But we have e5, best move, and only the best move. Black is slightly better in this position, because it's a nice huge pawn chain, and these pawns are blocked. And if he tries to push, we get a tempo on this, but then he gets a tempo on us. It's interesting. So either way, after e5 we have bishop to b2 attacking the rook, and we simply doesn't care. He simply doesn't care. And I think the idea is, after bishop takes, we have c takes, the best move, only move, and how he is going to defend this, that's beyond me, because it's like these two pawns are gonna rock this. Maybe it's because this is a quite nice passed pawn. That's the only thing that makes this a drawish position. Otherwise, it's simply a winning for white, I think. But here's quite a mistake. I would say that is a mistake of the game. Rook to f1. Very unclear what he's trying to do. Knight to f7, good move. Now again, what is white trying to do here? It's very hard for white to play this. Black, it's quite easy to play because he has this nice passed pawn chain. pawns are defended. You can't push here. Can't push here. If you push here, we take with check. And if he moves there, maybe we take here with check. So that doesn't work. You can't push. So now knight comes into the game. And the king is blocks the last pawn. Now there is, yeah, well, there is nothing to do for both of them, it seems like. So they just shuffle a little bit. But then to not like lose, I guess he decides to push the pawn. I think because the Stockfish evaluation is so like weird. It went from like not even -1 to suddenly -2 for no reason, and I don't see there's no inaccuracies in between. But either way, we can defend this pawn, and we're attacking the G2 pawn. So the rook comes there, but then we can just simply take the pawn. And why not take the pawn when you're winning on it? You're winning in that idea. So rook takes, there's only one winning move in this position, and that's quite obvious. You have to move your knight. And you can't move it to somewhere like here. I guess you can't move it here. Probably because some rook to e3. Yeah, and you win the pawn. That's why. So go to f4. King comes into the game. Now rook to d4 is like shutting up this position. Now it isn't even an option to take here. Some of you might have played that, but there's no option. Basically, white is up a pawn in material. But this huge pawn chain and this knight and this sort of close position, this is just winning for black. So he takes the knight instead, right? So he sacked the rook back, but we can take it and we're simply up a pawn. Now the king tries to attack the pawn, and if we do, can we do a weird move? Okay, we do a weird move to start, like this is the thing he's trying to do, and win back the pawn, and he's winning, right? But we can just simply push the pawn, and after defending, guess what? We don't have to take that free pawn here. We don't have to take that free pawn. That's still winning, but we don't have to take it. We simply push it. And if now takes here, then we take this pawn. How is he going to defend this? We go here, maybe, and c6. He can't take this pawn because then we just push this and we're winning. So how is he going to defend this? Yeah, that was actually what happened. That is what happened. He goes rook to f5, now attacking that pawn. But we can simply defend it. And now we're threatening to advance this pawn with a discovered check, meaning that we can simply move it up for free. So the king moves. But then we decide, now we want to trade the rook now, because for something like takes here, for example, then we have h captures. And look at this. How is it going to attack this pawn chain? So you have to move like, to defend the pawn, it has to move like here. Or not has to, but that would be good. But then we have g4. Cementing this pawn structure. Well, you say, how would you win? We can go king to f2, for example. Defense. Simply quite nice. Well, we're f5. What are you trying to do now? Can you do anything here? Well, if you win king g3 maybe. Well, then we have this check, I guess. This sort of works. This check works. Of course, if you takes, then we just push the pawn and we get the queen. And in fact, that is the best move according to the computer. But let's just be a little bit more resilient. We go here. Now, c5. Black has to make a move. Now, are we going to go e1 here? We go e1. No, that's f1, sorry, f1. Well, then we can simply take this pawn, or push this pawn. How are we going to defend this? Now, if we go g1, for example, guess what? We just push the pawn. And, well, I'm gonna defend this, you say. Well, I still have this idea. I still have this idea. You just say, well, then I go here. I simply go back with my king. And you push the pawn because it has you don't have anything to do. You push the pawn. Well, I take it. You don't have anything to do. Let's go here. Take it. Oh, you don't have anything to do. I can go here. Well, I can go here. And if you go raise here, I'm gonna go here. And if you go here, well, I'm gonna go check here. And that's a mate. What is white's play here? He can't trade the rook, so he takes this pawn, and after he takes this pawn, black is a one pawn and a rook game, and that isn't necessarily a win. So how is Blobfish gonna win this? Now, Stockfish rooks goes to the back rank and tries to like win the pawns back, but we push the pawn. We push the pawn. Now he tries to defend this pawn, but we can defend it with the pawn. Now it is we who are going back in a round to take the pawn. So he pushes the pawn. We just give a check, and pushes the other pawn. Now the rook is attacking the g5 pawn, and if we push our g5 pawn, we're gonna lose the h5 pawn, but we simply do it, and we lose the f pawn as well. So it takes the f pawn, right? How is this winning? Just simply move the pawn. It's an equal in material rook in game. They're almost always a draw, but Blobfish finds this way. It goes for check, Stockfish, that is, and then now attacks this g pawn with h4. The same idea that we had a couple moves ago. Just push the pawn. Now the king moves here, takes opposition, maybe tries to go rook to g7 check and force the rook away, and then maybe goes here and tries to mate, but we still have this check, so it doesn't work. h3 simply gives up this pawn, but white has a pass pawn of its own and is definitely going to use it.
Vi fikar lite om vi vill börja med.
Okej.
Du behöver alltså inte.
No.
Om du vill så har vi något buller och något sånt.
Mm. Yeah, so we have that pass pawn. Interestingly, I think this is a draw, but it would be nice to play this, wouldn't it? Noise. No, takes. Look at this, takes. takes. Then we have g2. We have g2. Goes here, maybe. Tries to defend it. We have this. Now, if you go here, that's a queen, and white is black is winning. So in fact, you could simply take that pawn. Another move would be this move. And this might be the weird move. If we go here, for example, king takes here. We have g2. We have, let's g8. Are we going to get away from this? Here's b6. b6 here. Attacks this pawn. Yeah, might not be the greatest. Here, for example, I guess takes here. And actually we can check the table bases here. Black wins. Simply black wins. So in this spot, we can literally take here. Of course, Blobfish doesn't want to like sacrifice a whole rook for because simply its position is better if it doesn't take this. But that is such an interesting move. You could literally capture that pawn and still win. So even I could win this position, I guess. No, maybe not. But I can even find that winning move in just a second. Let's go. King goes to c7. So basically this pawn is hanging. We have this check, forcing the king up here or there, somewhere here, right? But either way, he takes. He simply pushes the pawn. Now the thing is, we can't defend against this because we have a rook on this file. So once it pushes and this rook, then if we were like here, could take here, we simply take. So that's not gonna work. So it goes back, check, we go up there. He goes check, we go here, forced move, and he pushes a pawn. And there is, like, what can you do? The only thing you can do in this position would be here, and after we go queen. Oh shit, that's a check even, that's a check. You take and you simply go here. Now, we have this passed pawn, you say. You have this passed pawn. Well, rook here. And if he tries to like, maybe go here, hold on to it. c1, only winning move. We'll try to hold on it. Or we can go this one again. He can try to sort of repeat here. Sort of like this. We have another winning move, and that's here because we'll never get this. And if he goes here, we simply take the pawn. Something like that would happen. So that pawn isn't even working. So instead he pushes pawn, right? But now there is a mate. Simply promotes and takes this pawn. Apparently this isn't the best move, and I have no clue why this wasn't played. Wait. Sorry, excuse me. Queen to e5 was played. This move wasn't played, actually. That is the fucking feature they have on chess.com. That is, game may have continued. So I was like so confused. Why didn't like Blobfish find his mate? I have no clue. But interestingly, in this position, there's a mate in 9, you see, and Stockfish said that this was just -14, so we didn't even see the mate. That is interesting, and also played king to e5, wasn't the best move either. Simply breathtaking. That game was so spectacular, I would say. Surely somebody has to stop Blobfish someday. No, but it's just that was a brilliant move. It was a brilliant game. I particularly liked the part where you could sack your rook. I remember where that was. It's like, no, here. Literally just take this pawn. Literally just take this pawn. Like, it would be so amazing for Blobfish to play that move, actually. I would say that would be amazing. But, of course, in this position, that isn't the best move. Yeah. Because that would be a hard endgame. Let's go. for example, here, and maybe takes wasn't the best move, right? Go here. I think we went d8, best move, takes, pushes. Now b6 tries to win this pawn, but then h2, and after takes queen. Rook to g8. I would go there maybe, but we go here. Maybe here. Now it starts. Now it starts to believe it. Yeah, you don't have anything here, right? Can we see like the winning? We don't see the best moves here, but for example, if we go here, king takes a1. For example, if we take this pawn, for example, into e1, we can win with that. We can win with a lot of things here, actually. Just maybe not these moves, but yeah, that was simply a great. Why is the color is so wrong? Oh no, I have like this chroma key. Why is it just two squares like that? It shouldn't be chroma key on this one. Let's just remove the chroma key, thank you. It shouldn't be there. No. So I just realized that you have like watched the games with the chroma key on. So all the green stuff has been the background for all of you. That is that is insane. Well, it was a blast to have you here. Amazing game also. I loved it, really. Yeah, I do love my own engines though. So that's quite a bit. Yeah, but it was a nice game, really. So that's 2 out of 2. So that is amazing. I don't think, well, I cannot spoil it, but I don't think that Blobfish can hold like a perfect record against Stockfish. That would be amazing though. But I think Stockfish could actually play some forced draws. So even if Blobfish could know all the winning moves and all the losing and drawing moves, I think Stockfish could have at least drawn some games, even in its current state. But it's clear that Blobfish is very good to win like 2 games in a row, one as black against Stockfish 15. That's an achievement, and we're really happy here on the Oligo Chess channel, on the whole corporation actually, and Oligo Chess and our mother company Oligo. Yeah, we're so happy for this. How this turned out. It was just a passion project from the beginning, you know. It turned out to be a world-class engine, and we're happy. We're happy. Yeah, so that's it for this game. Remember that. Oh, I don't know. I don't have anything to say. So just simply cut it off here. Goodbye.